Welcome back. Thank you for always coming back. Kindly subscribe and watch. So today we are going to deal with donatio mortis causa. Donatio mortis causa, or simply what is called gifts in contemplation of death. So this is a gift that is made by someone during their lifetime, and it is conditional upon the death of that person. A gift made by a person during their lifetime, and it is conditional upon the death of that someone. So in this case, it's someone we call the donor. The donor is someone who is giving his property or giving that gift. The donee is someone who is receiving the gift. So when you come to gifts in contemplation of death, they take effect after the death of the donor. They take effect after the death of the donor. And these gifts in contemplation of death, they do not form part of the free properties of the deceased, and they cannot they cannot be distributed under a will, or when you go to court, does not form part of the free properties of the deceased. So when you go to court and someone was given a gift in contemplation of death, they do not form part of those property that need to be distributed. When you go to court, you file succession. And when someone is given a donatio mortis causa, and another one is given the same gift or the same property under a will, the person who has been given under a will receive nothing. This is because donatio mortis causa, they do not form part of the free properties of the deceased, and they cannot even be revoked by a subsequent will. Okay, but where the estate of the deceased, does not have enough property to pay its debt, or does not have sufficient properties or sufficient money or properties to pay its debt, then donatio mortis causa can be used to pay the debts. Okay? Yes. So when you look at section 31 of the Law of Succession Act, this is the act that deals with donatio mortis causa. And looking at this section, it implies that this gift should be movable and not immovable. So it implies that this gift should be movables and not immovable. So gift in contemplation of death does not apply when it is land, when it is immovable properties like etc, e.g. land. So donatio mortis causa, when you look at it under section 31 of the Law of Succession Act, that section implies that these gifts are movable and not immovable properties. Okay? Movable and not immovable properties. When the donor is giving this gift, it is given with an intention that if he survives, maybe he had a terminal illness, if he survived the illness or any imminent danger, that gift can revert back to him, or he can ask for his gifts. Yes. There are several conditions that must be satisfied for this gift to be considered as donatio mortis causa. And number one, it is this gift must be made in contemplation of death. So the donor must be contemplating the possibility of his death due to a terminal illness or due to any imminent danger. He must believe that he is likely to die due to terminal illness or any illness or due to imminent danger. So there is that belief that I might die due to this illness. I'm giving you this gift because I might die due to some illness or due to any danger that the donor is in. So this gift must be made when the donor believes or is contemplating that he might die due to some illness, or he might die in a particular way. Okay? Yes, so it must be on condition that the donor is contemplating his death might occur in a particular way. Then this gift will also be considered as gift in contemplation of death when the donor dies from any other cause other than what he believed he will die. Let's say he thought he's going to die due to cancer, which is a terminal illness, but he dies due to pneumonia. You see, it will still be considered as gift in contemplation of death, because even though he died of cancer, even though he died of pneumonia, he still had cancer until his death. He still had cancer until his death. So that gift will still be considered as a gift in contemplation of death. The only time that this gift will not be considered is when the donor is contemplating suicide or he commits suicide. If he commits suicide or is contemplating suicide, then the gift in contemplation of death will not be satisfied, or that condition will not be satisfied. Number 2, it must be conditional on the death of the donor. The donor must die. If the donor does not die, that gift does not take place. It takes effect after the death of the donor. So if the donor does not die, that gift will not take place, okay? That gift is not take place. And in most cases, it is said that when you're making a gift in contemplation of death, ensure that you make it, it is oral. Give someone a gift orally. Don't write, or don't write somewhere. Give them orally. If it is written, the court might consider it not to be a gift in contemplation of death. So ensure you make it oral. Don't write. Okay? Yes. And the difference between the gift in contemplation of death and oral will. Gift in contemplation of death, the donor is contemplating his death. That's why he's giving that gift, because he believes that he's going to die in a particular way. In oral will, he's not contemplating his death. The person who is making the will is not contemplating his death, or it is not made in contemplation of death. Okay? Yes. So that is the differentiate between the oral will and gifts in contemplation of death. Also, it is important to differentiate between gifts in contemplation of death and inter vivo gifts. We are going to deal with inter vivo gift. Inter vivo gift. When inter vivo gifts are given, or they are given by the person or by the deceased, the person who died gave someone a parcel of land. You know, in gift inter vivo, the person can give a parcel of land. And when you go to court, that gift inter vivo will be considered as that person's part of the inheritance. It will be counted as if he received part of his inheritance. So that is gift inter vivo. Gift in contemplation of death, we have seen that section 31 of the Law of Succession Act implies that this gift should be movable. However, in inter vivo, gift inter vivo, a person can give someone land. And in gift inter vivos, this gift that is given, when we go to court, it will be considered as a part of the inheritance of that person who was given. So when distribution is happening, that person, that land or that gift that he was given will be considered in distribution. That is the difference between gift inter vivo and gift in contemplation of death. I just wanted to give those differences so that you can know there is an oral will, there is gift inter vivo, and there is gift in contemplation of death. Okay? Yes. So number 3 is that gift must be delivered to the donee. The donee must take possession of that gift, or take control of that gift, or take dominion of that gift. The donor must part with the possession of that gift. Okay? He must part with the possession of that gift. We have understood. So the donor must take possession or dominion or control of that gift. So that is number 3. That the donor must part with the possession of that gift. Number 4. That gift must form the subject matter of a donatio mortis causa. What does that mean? it means that this property must be capable of being donated. That gift must be capable of being donated. It should be a gift that can be considered as a free property of the deceased. So it is a gift that can be considered as a free property of the deceased. So, like checks, they don't form part of the donation motis causa because they don't form part of the deceased property, especially when you go to court, when you're filing succession. Checks do not form part of the free property of the deceased. So it must be something capable of being donated, something that can be considered as a free property of the deceased. Okay, something that can be considered as a free property of the deceased. Okay, so the other thing is that the last thing, this is the number 5. This is number 5, that the donee, or the person who is receiving the gift, must survive the donor. The donee must survive the donor. So the donee, or the person who is receiving the gift, if he or she dies before the donor, then you see that condition will not be fulfilled or satisfied. So the donee must survive the donor, or the donor must die before the donee. The donor must die before the donee. And so that is gifts in contemplation of death. I hope you have learned something, and thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe.